Congratulations on being newly listed on the CSE.
Well, thank you to everyone tuning back in for another newly listed on the CSE clip. And today I am talking to Mr. Doug Unwin. Doug is the CEO and president of Geologica Resource Corp. Of course, it's listed on the CSE. Douglas, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I hope you're well.
Oh, yeah, no problem, Neil. Thanks very much. And thanks for asking. Yeah, feeling great.
Of course. So the company is just listed. Why don't we jump in with talking to the audience about what Geologica Resource is all about? What's the vision here?
Well, what we are is a junior exploration company focused on copper, other critical metals, and gold, with projects in BC as our main focus.
Got it. Now, so projects in BC, it's gold focused. You know, it's a challenging market. Let's not beat around the bush. Times have been a little, strenuous on mining companies. So why did you and your team choose to go and do an IPO during these challenging markets? What was the strategy here?
Well, we started out with going through the regulatory process. And with that process, you have a number of time frames that you have to hit. And it just happened that our final letter for our prospectus came out end of April. So we had 90 days to run and get the financing done over that period. And I've been involved in raising money in challenging markets before. And, it's more difficult. You got to make a few more phone calls, but you basically depend on the people that have been in there before. They come back in, you get some new guys. And it's a brokered IPO. So we have Research Capital as the agent on it. And then we have a couple of other brokerage houses that have been involved in helping us do the IPO. And so you go with what you can and you work hard and you get it done.
I don't think you could have summarized that strategy better, but I want to talk a little bit more in detail about the project. So tell us about it. You said it's gold, it's BC. Why did you and your team focus on this specific project?
Yeah, we looked at a number of projects. This one, we were more focused on copper than anything at the time. And this one was on trend with a past producing mine, Granisle mines in the Nechako area near Babine Lake. We looked at the geology. We have geologists that have discovered properties or deposits in the past, and they looked at it and we decided that this was a very prospective area that we could go in. There was past 50 years of past data that was there. A lot of it we could access that would help us out. So that was the initial look at that. And it's the property, we've got about 2,700 hectares right now. And we've done some geochem work on it since we've acquired the property. And we're really, really happy with the results that we got from that.
So Douglas, this is obviously one of your first mining projects that you've taken on. So let's talk a little bit and talk to our audience about your background and how you got into this space.
Yeah. So I've got a master's in business administration, been an entrepreneur in a number of different areas in tech and biotech. And biotech's very similar to the development mining, the phases that you have to go through. But, I looked at the whole electrification and the move away from hydrocarbons and realized this is a trend that's going to be going on for decades and something that we really wanted to get involved in. And so I built a team around that process, people that have been involved in the copper mining before, been involved in discovering deposits before. So we have a really strong board of directors and advisors who know the mining space really well. I've been involved in taking other companies public in the past, know the public administration side of things. And we have legal advice who's worked with people like Pan American Silver Site. So we've got a really strong team built around a mining process.
A sign of a successful company is who you surround yourself with. So let's talk a little bit about your team members that you've assembled to, obviously make this company successful and move the project forward.
Yeah, sure. We have Bob McKnight, who is involved in Nevada Copper, taking that to, it's almost a producing property at this point. The people on the team have been involved in raising over $1.5 billion in equity, flow through, debt, you name it, every kind of structure. John Buckle is a geologist, has been involved in discovering the Acadie and Snap mines, diamond properties, a double views property in the Golden Triangle. He was involved in the Voisey's Bay nickel discovery. So guys who have discovered properties before, very, very strong, experienced guys, been in geology for over 40 years.
Excellent. Now, I want to jump back to the project. Obviously, I want to talk a little bit about and maybe go into more detail on some of the previous work that was done on this project compared to what you and your team are doing now.
Yeah, so the area that we're in British Columbia, the Nechako Plateau, is covered with a lot of overburden. Most of the previous work that had been done in areas where there were outcrops, where it was easy to get trenches or chip samples or do some drilling. But what we've done is some modern geochemical work over that whole property that's kind of allowed us to focus through the overburden and look for mineralization in the bedrock underneath it, and combine that with the previous airborne magnetics work that's been done. And really, we've developed a kilometer scale VMS anomaly that is going to be a big focus of what we're doing, plus some additional copper and gold anomalies on the property.
Got it. Now, obviously BC is a very popular area when it comes to mining. What separates a company and team like Geologica Resource from some of your peers that are in this space?
Yeah, I think the property itself, that we're on trend with an already past producing copper property. We have strong geochemical and magnetics that are identified anomalies that we can put into drill targets within the next year. So it's not going to be a long time. We're fairly advanced in that way. A team of guys around it that have an immense amount of experience, both in geology, on discovering properties, financing properties, moving them forward to majors. So yeah, I think we got a lot of advantages over other juniors that are out there.
Well said. Now, obviously, the company has just begun trading, but I want to see if there are any milestones you're able to talk about in the coming months that our viewers and investors can look out for.
Yeah, if you look at the prospectus, we've sort of laid out in that what we're going to be doing as far as working on the property exploration work over the next 3 to 6 months. So as we go through that work and focus down on where the drill targets are actually going to be, we'll have pretty consistent news coming out of the company over that period. So investors can look to see information from us on a regular basis.
Perfect. I do want to encourage our viewers and investors to go to your website, do your due diligence, read up on your team as well as the project, and obviously sign up for your news releases so they can keep up with the flow that you're talking about. Where can they go to find these details? Yeah,
the website is geologicaresource.com.
Simple and plain. There's obviously the CSE page that they can always check out for the company as well.
Absolutely.
Douglas, I really appreciate you taking the time to not only educate myself on the company Geologica Resource, but also our viewers and investors. I wish you and your team nothing but success as you move forward in this journey. To everybody watching, you've been listening to Mr. Douglas Unwin. He is the president and CEO of Geologica Resource Corp. I'm Anil Mall. I represent the Canadian Securities Exchange, and this has been a newly listed on the CSE clip. Douglas, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Anil. It's been a pleasure, buddy.